Hello guys and welcome back to the channel. So in today's video we have this very interesting post from Pirate Software in which he is basically saying that because of him and him being kind of like called the villain of the story is that why Stop Killing Games has become successful. Yes, this is what he said almost with his own mouth. So this is his post here. The man can literally not take an L. Now I know that some of you guys agree with him, which is absolutely fine, but the majority of people disagree with him because they believe that games should not be destroyed. So here's what he is saying. So the most interesting narrative is that my video somehow killed the initiative. This graph shows that the initiative already had a downward trend of interest when my videos dropped. My videos do not seem to have had any impact on the movement at all. Making me the villain did though. Best of luck with your next steps. So he is basically saying now he's taking a victory lap, and this guy, after people are criticizing him online, telling him that his take on it is a bit delusional. Penguins in his video, for example, like he was talking how Pirate Software misconstrued the objective of the petition from the beginning, because Pirate Software was really focusing on the single player games with permanent connection, which was not the case, because in the petition you can see on the first sentence, in the first paragraph, it says clearly, Stop Killing Games is a consumer movement started to challenge the legality of publishers destroying video games, so any video game they have sold, physically paid for a price, to the customers. So any video game does not matter, does not have to be a single player game only. Now on this graph he is basically saying that, you know, this is when the Accursed Farms published a petition. Then we have this time frame when he kind of talked about the Stop Killing Games, and you can see here it went a bit downwards. It was going downwards, so when he published his videos it did not have any effect. But then after that, when people started talking about the petition, especially like PewDiePie, Penguins, and other people, and talking about how I guess, you know, Pirate Software's view are incorrect, it kind of blew off, as you can see here, and because of that we are now at 1,173,000 signatures, 200. It could go even higher by July. I mean, by the end of July, this could go to 1.3, 1.4 million quite easily, to be honest, right? Which is crazy. But yeah, we are at this point, guys. So let's see the comments of the people. What do people think about this particular point of view? And of course, he did put a further comment here, and he said, and for those that don't understand why I put out the videos in the first place, you might want to give this a read. So this is his blog post, Daniel's vlog. In this blog post, he kind of says why he believes that, you know, this idea of Stop Killing Games is not potentially the best idea, right? When activism ignores law, when there's a lot of stuff here. But this is like people's reaction. So this first one is like crazy. Bro is entering his Lelouch v Britannia arc. I see. That's from an anime, by the way. If you don't know the anime, you don't get the joke. So I saw Asmon's reaction to the drama and your videos, and what made me surprised is how nobody could relate to what you're saying. You were speaking about it as a dev, from a dev point of view, and simply almost no gamer could relate. Sin Potato said the following: never seen someone this eager to fight for the wrong thing and never admit that they're wrong ever. This one also, just give it a rest, my friend. We have here more stuff here. The issue, we have here other stuff here. Why are these dudes talking about Sephiroth in the replies? When people hate on you for something you said or did, drop it and move on. Don't engage with it. Just let it go. You'll just get more hate. Obviously, you have here. Just carry on, brother, and focus on your rescue. None of us will survive having out our worst moments held in public for mob scrutiny. This comment here from this person is a bit unhinged. He is saying that the lawyers in charge of evaluating these initiatives will laugh at SKJ out of the room, and they'll be amazed if 1% of the people criticizing you for doubling down come back to apologize. I'm glad you didn't. They won't. Now, this is quite crazy because he is saying that, so when the legislators, right, look at this, and the European Parliament is just going to say, what, we don't care about consumer rights? Like, the European Parliament will be like, screw this, we don't care about people's rights, let them pay money for a game, and if the game disappears in 1 second after purchase, it's not our problem. Like, do you see the problem here, right? Like, games as a service and games with permanent connection, which then will disappear after a while, it's not something that we should have in the long-term future, because it could literally kill gaming completely. Like, that's the thing. If you continue to release games like this in the world, people will lose faith in gaming, because why would I pay for a game which could disappear in 4 years? Do you understand? That's the problem. What else we have here? What we're witnessing is the rejection of a personality by virtue of mere exposure. It's brutal. Every story needs a hero and a villain. Just stop, man. Just stop killing games. This is amazing. I like this one. This is hilarious. Like, this is where he is right now. He's just trying to kind of like, I know, like, put himself on a pedestal, saying that because he was made the villain of the story, is that why this succeeded, which is crazy. Sure, your own chart shows you causing the decline. The moment your video dropped, the daily signatures started to plummet. As we have here, if buying isn't owning, then piracy isn't stealing. Dude, just take the L and let it be what it is. You're such a retard. It's impressive you have a platform. So much drama all around these days that it is hard to keep track of it all. Bro could have just said my bad and literally everyone would have understood, but is physically incapable of admitting he was wrong. That's right, man. That's crazy, right? Pirate Software, try not to sound like a condescending douchebag. Challenge impossible. Nah, if I pay for something and I don't get to own it, then screw those devs, right? Look at this. Screw those devs. EA is shutting down Anthem, for example. This is just one example of what happens with these companies that don't care about the consumer. They release a product, and if they cannot milk the product, they will take your money, and then they will just shut down the game completely in its entirety. And I believe that's a bad thing. That's my point of view, guys. It's a bad thing. Your take was valid. AF. I'm not sure why everyone was so hell-bent on destroying your image on this. What's have here? Best of luck with your next steps. Jesus Christ, you are so incredibly pathetic. Everyone telling Pirate Software to just accept the L. It does not matter. This man will not listen. He will not listen at all. Do you understand why? Because he just does not want to acknowledge he was wrong. Like, people like him, like Pirate Software, right, are the type of people who will never ever accept any responsibility for being wrong in anything. Like, they will try to basically justify themselves out of anything and try to spin the story and try to basically put themselves on a pedestal somehow, telling you that it's because of me that I was against it that it succeeded. Like, it does not matter. Like, this person will try to kind of like twist the reality any way possible to basically at the end of it be on top and try to say that it's because of them. It's because of them that we were successful in the first place. Even in defeat, your ego can't let it go. You were wrong. Your mask slipped. Let it go. So, some people agree with him, some people disagree with him, but let's be honest, guys. This is one example of basically a big YouTuber, basically, right, who had a bad take on something, and he is literally incapable of saying in public to everyone, you know what, guys, maybe I was wrong, maybe just maybe my opinions were a bit misguided, and this initiative could actually benefit gaming in the future. But he just does not want to say that. He just refuses to say that, and all he's saying is that because of him, because of his reputation as the bad guy now, because he is now the official bad guy. He's the official villain arc, right? He's the villain in the story. Because of that, now the initiative is successful. So yeah, that's it for today's video, guys. As always, people are sometimes unhinged. Now, I know, like I said before, some people will agree with him. Some people think that Pyre Software is in the right. I still believe that's not right. Personally, we should not let these companies release games, and then these games, which sometimes are single player or have a strong single player component, get killed completely, shut down, because they require a permanent internet connection. I believe that is not acceptable, and gaming companies should allow people to play their games offline if you paid the full price, because you paid for a product. Just imagine for a second you buy a movie and then 10 years later the movie gets blocked because whatever reason, right? It's the same freaking thing. You paid for something, you should be allowed to play it as much as you want, because it is something that you paid the full price. You didn't rent it, you didn't pay a portion of it, you didn't pay 99% of it, you paid the full price for the product, which means that you should be able to entitled to play the game for as long as you want in most cases. So guys, that's it for today's video. As always, I shall see you later in the next one. Bye.